Good morning. How you guys doing? This Mike back with the thought of the day on April 5th, 2023. First, I want to give honor and praise to the Elohim of Israel for waking me up today and giving me the strength to bring you this message and the wisdom. Today's topic I want to talk about is the gift of desperation. The gift of desperation. One thing that God did for me was give me the gift of desperation. And I needed him to grant me that gift because without that, I wouldn't be sober and I wouldn't be trying to serve him every day right now. That gift of desperation started back in March 2019 when I was at the end of my alcoholism and I started developing the shakes or the DTs, and my mind was going crazy. And one night, my ex-wife, during one of my breakdowns, said, "Do you want me to take you to Crisis?" And I knew she knew the people at Crisis because of the job that she had at the time. And just hearing the word crisis put me into a more shock mode and an embarrassment mode. I couldn't believe that my life had gotten to that point to where somebody really asked me, did they want me to go to Crisis? So I said, no, I know what I got to do. And I went down in the basement and I got on my knees and I cried out and said, God, either help me or take me. At that point, he put it in me to understand that I had to go back to rehab. So first I flew to California. I didn't like that rehab, so then I flew to Florida. Once I got to Florida, out of the gift of desperation, after my 5 days in detox, my first night in rehab, through the gift of desperation, I opened the book for the first time. And that's when I found out I had a disease. Through his gift of desperation, I joined this Back to Basic group that took me through the steps. And it was only by his gift of desperation did I even do these steps, because me and my normal selfish, self-centered mind, before taking this trip, I wouldn't have did these steps. It was the gift of desperation that had me say, I'm turning my life and will over to God. It was the gift of desperation that had me do a moral inventory, to actually write out my life and look at all my character defects and be totally honest in naming the people I harmed and the things that I did and the things that happened to me. It was the gift of desperation to confess all of these things to another human being and to God. Then it was a gift of desperation to look at all my character defects and say, this is the things I have to work on, and pray to God for his help to help me work on those things to get rid of them. And it was definitely the gift of desperation to develop a list of the people I harmed and had to go out and make amends to all of those people individually. Even the people that I knew for a fact did me wrong, I had to look at my part in those situations and still make amends for my part in those situations. I thank God for that gift of desperation, because I often say I was willing to do all of this stuff because my back was against the wall. Had I had 5 months, 6 months to a year of sobriety, I don't know if I would have did the steps the way that I did them, vigorously and honestly, because I would have told myself, you got a year sober, you don't really got to tell nobody all your business. I probably would have latched off. I probably would have got comfortable, and I probably would have cheated myself. That's why when I work with sponsees now, and I first talk to them, I look in their eyes and do I see that gift of desperation? How bad do you really want to be sober? Are you willing to go to any length to get sobriety? And I could pretty much tell from that first conversation if they are really serious about taking this journey. And I'm glad I still have that sense of desperation in me, because now I have the desperation to want to get to the kingdom. And I try to live my life with that vigorous and eagerness of trying to get to the kingdom daily. And some people don't understand that because they remember who I was, but they don't understand the spirit that's in me right now that has taken over me and has me on this journey of trying to get to this kingdom. And I know there's some people out there that look and they laugh, but people laughed at me when I said I was going to have the best basketball, middle school basketball company in the country. And at one point I did. And now I even have the power of the Holy Spirit with me and the Most High looking over me for me to try to really be the best that I could be for Him and be a servant for Him. That's why I thank Him all the time for granting me that gift of desperation. So I asked the question as I in this video, how desperate are you to get sober? And how desperate are you to try to get to the kingdom, to get to the Most High's kingdom? How desperate are you to get sober? And how desperate are you to get to the kingdom? This is Mike. Thanks for listening. Shalom.